Woo. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I am your host, Simon, back from the dead here, as always, with my co-hosts Josh and John Luke, and joined by a great friend of the show and special guest, Eagle Dan FF. How's it going, Dan?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. It's going great.
Was it today or yesterday was Easter? This is very fortuitous. Simon has risen.
Oh, God. Not for long, though. I'm getting right back in bed after this. I'll rise again tomorrow.
I think Jesus did the same thing. For sure. He went right back into the tomb.
He said not today. Today, guys, it is Mock Draft Monday, so we are going to be going through another mock draft with you guys. We wanted to bring Dan on here, give his perspective, teach us a thing or two about drafting. I know JL always puts together some garbage teams, so hopefully Dan can guide him in the right direction. How's it going, guys? What's up, Jay? Front Yard fam. How's it going, Craig? Happy Monday. Jay, I'm so happy to see your face, even if it's just a small picture in the bottom corner. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. Thank you, Maria. I thought this said happy birthday for some reason. I was like, it's
happy
not my
birthday.
It looks like people are happy to have you back, Simon, for some weird reason. I don't get it, but I guess we'll accept it.
Rick says, I thought Simon was fired. So Rick, actually, you're not supposed to expose that. The whole COVID thing was a farce. I got fired by JL. I've spent the last week begging.
There are legal implications that we cannot comment on them.
I may have some coughing fits throughout. I'll try to mute myself and someone take over if I do, but I couldn't wait any longer to get back on the stream. And Jay says, happy to see Phoenix person has risen as well.
Welcome back, Phoenix person.
Dan is Phoenix person. I think he even changed his avatar to like bird person for a day or two there on Twitter.
I did.
He just had to fully embrace the nickname for it to set in. Guys, today the mock draft we are doing is a 2021 PPR Dynasty startup. Just one quarterback. We've been doing a lot of super flex recently, so this is your classic one quarterback Dynasty startup, 12 teams, one quarterback, two running back, three wide receivers, one tight end, one flex, screw defense and kickers, and we'll only be doing 4 bench. So a 12-round startup. And Rick says, my bad, JL. DM me the details.
I got you, Rick. I got you.
Jay says, Simon, could you stop coughing? Geez, I'm professional.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Oh, you got to. If you guys make me laugh, it's gonna happen. So no one be funny.
That shouldn't be too hard.
Impossible for me.
Swamp says,
look what I did right there.
And Swamp says, glad to see you, Simon. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. Getting better every day. Hopefully we don't go the wrong direction. I've got my next test scheduled for Wednesday, though, so we'll see if that comes back negative, and then I can leave the guest bedroom. It's been it's been a lot of YouTube and Animal Crossing whenever I have been awake the past week.
Finally.
So. What? I know. It took me forever, but I finally got into the Animal Crossing game, and man, does it feel good.
Man, thanks for telling me. I would have hopped on with you. Could have gone fishing together.
Dude, it was like 5 minutes at a time, and then I'd be back asleep, and I'd wake up with like my Switch in sleep mode, and Villager just randomly standing with a bunch of bugs around them. Nick says, Simon's cough making me nervous. Gonna have to watch with a mask on. Yeah, I highly recommend
That's
it.
Advisable. Yeah, CDC definitely recommends that.
I'm in a safe room right now where I can not wear my mask, but it'll be back on right after this. Guys, are you ready to jump into the mock draft? We've got 12 rounds to get through. We've got one more spot that needs to get filled, actually. So, guys, I posted the link in the chat. I will post it again. One more spot, the 9 spot, and then we'll get the draft started. Yeah, the 9 spot's not bad. Let's look at where we're drafting from. Josh is going to be commentating on it today, give my voice a bit of a break. I'm going to be drafting from the 4 spot. JL's drafting from the 11, right in front of Dan at the turn at the 12. So we got JL and Dan back there at the turn. That'll be fun. NBA says, should I join? Absolutely.
And NBA joined.
There. NBA filled the last spot. This draft is full. And if you guys are ready, I'm going to go ahead and start it. You ready, Josh?
What kind of question is that?
Oh, I'm ready.
Oops, click the wrong.
Of course we want you to join NBA. We love when you're in here. We love when everyone's in here.
It's been a minute. I forgot how to start the draft.
You made it, correct?
I made it. Right. Oh, there it is.
Josh and I struggled with that last week.
My brain's not working for some reason today.
You got the COVID brain.
I take 1 week off and I forget everything. So Dynasty League, CMC first, and this is not my job. I got to back up Josh's commentary.
You focus on your pick because you got a pick coming up in 2 picks. But CMC, first one off the board, no surprise to anyone whatsoever, followed by Jonathan Taylor. And I personally, and I think a lot of people would agree, Jonathan Taylor does appear to be the second overall draft pick in dynasty leagues that aren't super flex nowadays. It looks like people are drafting him over Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara types. So, and there goes Dalvin Cook. How do you feel about that, Eagle Dan?
Yeah, I agree. I think Taylor is definitely the number 2. I think, even probably starting next year, you can even move him up to number 1. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But he's definitely locked in. To see how CMC does coming back full time, and then go from there. But no problem taking Jonathan Taylor at number 2 there over like Cook and Barkley and Kamara.
Yeah, I have him up there, but I wouldn't be taking him above Cook and Barkley personally. But I understand that a lot of people are. I just don't think I've seen enough yet.
Yeah, I mean, it was super impressive the back half of the season, or really the back quarter of the season, whenever they gave him the full workload. But I do want to see a little bit more. I think after CMC, the next tier is right there for me. Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley. And I think that's almost like tier 1A and 1B. I think Saquon and JT are firmly in 1B, or I'm sorry, Dalvin Cook and Saquon are firmly in 1B, and JT could move his way up into 1A with Christian McCaffrey after this season for me.
And then Alvin Kamara goes off the board. Do you think Alvin Kamara belongs in that kind of tier, Simon?
Yeah, I also considered drafting him there. The only reason he's slightly below these guys is I have no idea what's going on there in New Orleans. But like I said, I'm not as concerned as some. Sean Payton's going to figure out how to get his best player the ball. I don't care who's at quarterback. He's a smart coach. They're not going to just say, "Oh, well, Drew Brees is gone. Guess we don't use Alvin Kamara."
What would have to happen this season for Jonathan Taylor to fall next year? What do you guys think? Like, what kind of season would he have to have in order not to fall? Not to be RB2, considered RB2 in Dynasty next season?
A Josh Jacobs type season.
Yeah, he had to fall flat on his face, I think. For him to drop now.
I think it's flat on his face compared to expectations, right? Because like Josh Jacobs had a fine season, but I could see JT coming out and doing something similar to that. He's good. It's just not what you're hoping.
I think Saquon Barkley, he was right here, right where Jonathan Taylor's being drafted in everyone's mind, like no doubt, like right behind Christian McCaffrey. But then he has a season where he doesn't play after having an injury the season before. So if he misses the whole season with a pretty serious injury, I think it's going to probably drop him behind Saquon Barkley if Barkley can stay healthy this season.
Oh, let's move Dan out from the bottom so that he's not covered. We'll cover up COVID boy. Mike says, I still have Saquon as my RB2. Me too, for the time being. That's where I sit. That's why I really love this 4 spot, because I feel like there's usually a pretty good chance that Saquon makes it to 4 between Dalvin Cook, Kamara, and JT going ahead of him. But Detroit VC saying assignment in Ohio. Oh boy, I am not. I'm in Texas still, but does anyone notice anything about this shirt?
It says Ohio.
Anything else? Look carefully.
You lost, man.
Someone in the comments, come on. Someone's got to. It's not Ohio. It's
I was about to say, is
Pennsylvania.
Ohio not
I
shaped
was about
like
to
that?
say Pennsylvania.
It's Pennsylvania, but it just says Ohio.
That's perfect. I have no idea what Ohio is shaped like. I guess I don't look at the map enough. Get it out of here.
Chris says clearly Penn, and Maria says it's not the Ohio outline. This is one of my favorite shirts because, like, 99% of people say nothing. I think they just assume that the state labeled Ohio is going to be Ohio, but then like 1 out of every 100 people will like look at me with like a confused face and be like, "That's not Ohio.
It's Oklahoma."
It's Oklahoma."
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It looks like Oklahoma to me. No, I was about to say that actually, and then I was like, I'm gonna look like an idiot if that's what Ohio is actually shaped like. So,
Jay says it's North Carolina. Duh, he would know. He's from North Carolina. Pennsylvania couldn't style fast enough. Style.
So we just finished up the first round. I'll sum it up real fast. We started off with Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, Nick Chubb, Cam Akers, DeAndre Swift, 2 rookies right there in the middle of the first round. Wow. Or 2 rookies from last year. DeAndre Swift is followed by Devontae Adams, the first wide receiver off the board, which kind of created a little bit of a wide receiver run. AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill, and Patrick Mahomes, the end of round 1. And Eagle Dan, you followed it up with the Travis Kelce pick. So you got 2 tight end and a quarterback. You feeling good about that, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm. I love it. Here's my reasoning. With the running backs taken, there was 8 running backs taken then. So I can take the running back 9, the wide receiver 4, or the QB and tight end 1. Mm-hmm. Running back is so volatile year to year. People they always get hurt. Carries. I'd rather get that guaranteed production from those 2 spots, barring injury, of course. But I feel really comfortable. I can find, good receivers and running backs later on in the draft.
I love that, Dan. And that's why I love drafting from the end there in a startup for Dynasty. I usually go wide receiver Travis Kelce instead of QB Travis Kelce. But I like what you said, though. You got the number 1 at both positions there at the end of the first round.
And I can just hammer running back and receiver the rest of the draft and not have to worry about those 2 spots.
Yep. Also, guys, if you are enjoying this mock draft so far, you want to go back and watch our past ones, or make sure you don't miss our future ones, please subscribe to us on YouTube at Front Yard Fantasy and follow us on Twitch at Front Yard Fantasy. All of our past videos will be there. All of our future videos will be there, unless Josh forms like a splinter group, Backyard Fantasy, and starts posting these videos on that. But
Backyard Boys
with a Z.
That would be very me.
What's up, Jordan? Welcome in. NBA says, Josh L, don't let Simon talk too much. His coughing is not helping him to recover.
I'm trying to help. Right. He likes talking too much.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be on here. It's been a minute. And Jordan says, are you guys 6 feet apart? They're not. They're a lot more than that.
I can't reach him. I can't reach anyone right now. So, yeah, I think we're 6 feet apart.
I can almost reach Josh, but it's just too far.
Just a tiny
far away. So, we're COVID safe here. We're COVID safe.
Yeah.
Bottom golf presented by Backyard Fantasy.
Oh, I like that.
There we go.
That DK Metcalf value, man.
NBA wants us to comment on Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson as his first 2 picks.
Can't get much better than that.
No,
I was debating whether I should go Justin Jefferson or Zeke there. I felt like there was a pretty clear teardrop with the running backs there, and I love the value I'm getting later in drafts. So I decided to go Zeke, but it was close. I would have really liked leaving this draft with Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've talked about this before, and maybe it goes to what we were talking about here a little bit. You took Zeke, and I think I like that actually. I like getting a running back in the second round just because I know that in the third round, especially where you're drafting running back, you could get probably a couple of guys with some upside, but it's gonna be tough after the late third round, fourth round. The running backs really start to drop off, but wide receiver is easy to address. I would say up until like 6th, 7th round, you're still getting great wide receiver talent. So
exactly. And I think Zeke is going to bounce back. I think people are way overreacting to this past season. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be a good dynasty asset for the next few years.
Yeah.
What's up, Mike? Welcome in, man. The player I was hoping would make it back to me did. I think Derrick Henry at 2.9 is disgusting. Like, I understand.
Great value.
Yeah, it is 100%.
I'm finally done being a Derrick Henry hater. I like, he's just this outlier season after season after season, and I kept waiting for like it to come back down, for the volume to catch up to him, and now I'm just accepted the fact that he is an outlier. These aren't outlier seasons. This is an outlier player. The way he plays and his durability. So I'm perfectly happy getting him at 2.9. I mean, look at the running backs around him: Clyde Edwards-Helaire, David Montgomery. We got Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders. Like, give me Derrick Henry over all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd take Clyde Edwards.
Really?
Personally, yeah.
Josh, Dan, would you take CEH or Henry?
In a dynasty league, we're not knowing what my team's going to look like. I would take CEH.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry's going to. I would be willing to bet a lot of money that Derrick Henry has a better fantasy season this upcoming year, better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So,
my thought process
is a lot.
I'm not sure Clyde Edwards-Helaire ever has a season as good as like Derrick Henry's good seasons, and I think I could get like 2 more great years out of Henry as opposed to like back end RB1, top end RB2 production for 5 years from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Give me 2 years of top 5 production over 4 years of top 12, top 15 production.
Derrick Henry's production is not guaranteed in my mind. His first 4 years in the NFL, he didn't really do anything. He did the last 2 years. He's been awesome, amazing, but he had really good games his first few seasons, but it was never consistent and never ended up being a top tier fantasy running back. So, but having said that, as long as the team is willing to use him in that way, give him 20 touches a game, which I fully expect them to do. Why would I not? He's going to have a great season. I'm not trying to tell anyone he's not going to have a great season.
Yeah,
it does concern me a little bit.
I agree. I mean, I think this goes back to how I play Dynasty compared to others, though. Give me those 26, 27, 28-year-old players, especially wide receivers. These running backs, 25, you can get really good value on these. They're not old. They're just not the young hotness.
Right. I think also with Henry, with him getting, I think it was 370 plus carries last year. When the cliff comes for him, it's going to come quick. And I think people are just scared off that, with that kind of workload, when they rather not be the person that cliff comes for. So they shy away from him.
Ooh, Najee.
I'm going the anti-Simon team to welcome myself back to the stream.
3 running back Simon.
Yeah.
And before we get into it, let me just sum up the second round real fast. Eagle Dan started off with taking Travis Kelce, followed by Jails, Ezekiel Elliott, followed by J.K. Dobbins, Justin Jefferson, Antonio Gibson, DK Metcalf, Aaron Jones, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Derrick Henry by Simon, David Montgomery, Stephon Diggs, James Robinson ends the second round. And it seems like we're probably going to start getting into more wide receivers pretty soon. The rookie running backs have started coming off the board. Simon, you took Najee Harris. You're feeling good about that, right?
That's great value at third.
Yeah, I was between him and Miles Sanders. And it was honestly, I probably should have gone Miles Sanders. It's just that time of year where I'm excited about rookies. And I always think
Speaking of Miles Sanders,
I think of that Family Guy sketch. I think he's on Let's Make a Deal. And he has a boat, and would you like to keep the boat or take the mystery box? And he's like, well, the mystery box could be anything, even a boat. Yeah, and that's how I feel about these rookies. Do you take the rookie or do you take Miles Sanders? Najee Harris could be anything, even as good as Miles Sanders. But I think his ceiling is a bit higher than Sanders. But honestly, you put a gun to my head, tell me which one's gonna have a better year next year. I'm probably taking Sanders.
Yeah,
just
at this
because
point,
there's too many unknowns with Najee. But give me the young, exciting rookie running back after my 2 old plotters for NFL standards.
What do you think, Eagle Dan? Would you rather have Najee Harris or Miles Sanders at this point?
Oh man,
putting you on the spot.
That's tough, right?
I would probably
George Kittle.
Nice. I'd probably, have Miles just because I don't know Najee's landing spot. If Najee goes like the Steelers, then I'd pick Najee.
Oh yeah.
But landing spot is huge for him. So as of right now, I'd pick Miles. Also, I really want to see how Miles does with Jalen Hurts as a QB for a year. With Hurts' running ability, it could open up some holes for Sanders that he can hit some more of those home runs.
I love that you said that.
You gotta assume they're going to run a slightly different offense this year, right?
Yeah. The new coach is probably bringing in an entirely new offense not entirely, because it's still the Frank Reich inspired offense that he ran in Philly and in Indy as well. But hopefully, there's more RPOs, more leaning more towards the strength that Hurts has over what Carson was doing.
I agree with you. I really do. And I think Miles Sanders is in line for a better season than he just had, personally.
Well, he had a great end of the year last year.
Yes.
With Hurts. He helped me win a couple championships. It was hard getting there with him on your team because he wasn't great the first half of the year, but I think that offense is going to look great for him with Hurts under center. Darren Waller, Kittle and Waller in the third round. That's great value.
Absolutely.
Man, I feel naked without one of those three. I can't remember the last time I left a startup, even a mock, without one of those 3 guys.
Yes. NBA rigged. Julia Jones, Julio Jones, Kittle, great pick right there. I love it. Kittle with this new quarterback that we're going to see in San Francisco, I do fully expect Kittle to be Kittle, if not more than he has been the past couple of years. As long as he can stay healthy.
Michael Thomas in the 4th round. That's disgusting. That's disrespectful. This
like good value right there.
So we just finished up the 3rd round. I'm going to sum it up real fast. It started off hot with DeAndre Hopkins, followed by Austin Eckler, Chris Godwin, Najee Harris by Simon there, Josh Jacobs, CeeDee Lamb, Travis Etienne, Miles Sanders, George Kittle, Darren Waller, Javonte Williams, and Calvin Ridley. We have seen the top tier of rookie running backs come off the board. It's pretty early. I think there's going to be some disappointment with at least one of these guys. We got to see where they land. One of these guys I feel like is going to be in a committee.
Yeah, for sure.
But
if not all 3.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. There's just so many running backs out there nowadays. But Eagle Dan, I like the way you finished up the last round. Calvin Ridley, Allen Robinson. It was kind of seemed like your goal. You start off Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, got 2 great receivers, right? That's kind of what you were hoping for.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was looking at the receivers, like hoping like, oh, when CeeDee Lamb got taken, like I just hope something like 2 of these 3 guys with Thomas, Ridley, and Robinson, 2 of them stay, and my top two guys lasted. So easy picks for me right there.
There's a bunch of guys in that tier. McLaurin.
Yeah. Jamar Chase coming off the board. Say what you will. We don't know where he's going to land. He's going to be a rookie receiver, but he is freaking talented. If he's coming out in the same class with like CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, T. Higgins, he's above T. Higgins and right there with CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy in terms of talent. So like, I like Jamar Chase a lot. I'm really excited for it.
Shoot.
Really excited.
The mob rule sniping my Mike Evans pick. You son of a gun.
I have been like pronouncing that in my head totally differently. Themo Brulee is how
that's what I was thinking too.
For weeks, and then you just said that, and I was like, "What did he just say?" The mob
rule. Oh,
I'm glad I'm not the first one to say it.
Themo Brulee.
So JL, real fast, you took Javonte Williams and Michael Thomas. Love the value on Michael Thomas. Javonte Williams, do you just feel like it was kind of like ending like running backs wise, and you just had to take one there?
Yeah, I think if this was a real startup, I probably wouldn't have taken that risk because I agree with you guys. I think the risk is way too high there in the 3rd round of a startup. That can make or break your team, and that's a little too much risk in my opinion. But the way I was building this team was not like crazy old at all, but like I'm getting guys in my opinion, in their peak, right? Hill, Elliott, Michael Thomas. And so to balance that out with a little upside, I really like it. And because the running backs are going to start getting really ugly. If Javonte hits, that's going to, in my opinion, propel my team, to be a contender the next probably couple years.
I like it. I do. I like it. I think it was a
solid strategy. Yeah, it's a solid team.
Yep.
I thought about maybe going,
Shoot.
The other thing too was that
freaking Brady.
There's a lot of wide receivers
Marty Cooper
that I already liked, and so I thought about going maybe Joe Mixon, but I wanted to balance it out.
Exactly. If you know, like you think Eagle Dan's even gonna pick 2 receivers, but you got 3 receivers sitting there that you're fine, you think they're in a similar tier, then why not take the running back, right?
Exactly. I thought Dan might go running back just to try and get one solid one. And I think Javonte Williams is right up there around Najee Etienne, a little bit behind Etienne in my opinion.
He's in the same exact tier with Najee and Etienne for me, right at this moment. We'll see where they land though. Obviously that matters, and draft capital, like what round they land.
Right.
It matters.
Josh
Allen. So we went through the 4th round here. I'll sum it up real fast. It started out with Allen Robinson, Michael Thomas, Terry McLaurin, Joe Mixon, and NBA Rig talked about what they ate with Joe Mixon there. I liked he's absolutely the end of a tier of running back, and you snagged him. So good job, NBA Rigged. You got T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Mike Evans, Kyler Murray, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, which made Simon a little bit upset, and Josh Allen ending up the 4th round. We've had 3 quarterbacks off the board now. You just drafted DJ Moore with your last pick, Simon. You feeling good about that? I know you seemed upset about Amari Cooper going off the board. You were hoping he would kind of make it back to the 5th round.
I was between DJ Moore and Amari Cooper with the last pick, and at first I was playing the game like which one's more likely to fall. And then in my mind, though, DJ Moore is a step above Amari Cooper, and I didn't want to risk missing out on him on this team. I just think DJ Moore is going to step up as the wide receiver one on that team. I'm a little bit nervous about the quarterback situation, but I still the talent that I believed in that made me put him as a top 5 wide receiver in redraft last year is still the same talent. And I know Robbie Anderson got off to a hot start, but I think DJ Moore's the wide receiver one there. And this is Dynasty, so you buy talent. Or you invest in talent, you draft talent. So that's what I'm doing there. He's who I thought was the most talented wide receiver on the board.
I agree. Talent's more important than the opportunity they're getting in the moment, because talent should rise to the top, right? You should. I mean, if you're the most talented person on the team, you should eventually get a great opportunity. Sometimes we could be wrong about the talent, I guess, but I agree. I think DJ Moore is uber talented and the best receiver on the Panthers.
Yeah, I know. I like that pick a lot. Jay said JL's drafting the unsexy team that will dominate this year. Honestly, when I was picking Javonte Williams and I was thinking about going Michael Thomas, I was like, I know this team is not going to win by like public consensus because people, are fading these guys because they're slightly old. But I think they get the job done. It was the exact same thought I had, Jay.
Old being 28, but
old, yeah, or like 26 to 28.
I'm telling you guys, that's how you leave a dynasty draft feeling good about your team. You don't draft all these 20-year-olds, you draft these 25 to 28-year-olds, and then all of a sudden your whole team is value. And yeah, you're gonna have a little bit of work to do in a year or two, but that's Josh. What makes fantasy fun again? I can't remember.
Oh, trading. Once you trade, you get those
drafting a team like that instigates trades because you got it.
Instigates.
I love it. I love it. Whatever promotes more trading in your fantasy league, make sure you do it.
I grabbed my tight end.
Make it so much more fun.
I thought about going Pitts there just for the spice, but I'm not going to pass up. I think Hawkinson bursts his way into that conversation with Kelsey Kittle Waller this next year. It might be a little iffy with Goff there, but again, you draft talent, and I think Hawkinson's talent, tight end wise, is on par with those guys.
Well, who's Goff going to throw to, right? Like, who's he got right now?
Yeah.
Hawkinson's probably the most talented receiver Goff has to throw to at this moment. So I think I could easily see him jump into close to 100 catches this year. I could see that.
The Quintez Cephas disrespect from Josh.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
What about you, Dan?
You made himself laugh.
Do you like TJ Hawkinson? I feel like this is a tier here, Dan. TJ Hawkinson, Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts. How do you value these three guys?
I would go Pitts, Hawkinson, Andrews.
Okay.
Personally.
Yeah.
And I would go Hawkinson, Pitts, Andrews.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I wish I had a more decisive answer for you guys. Man, these guys are so similar.
Except Andrews is on a team that passes the ball 6 times a year.
Exactly. That's the only reason I have him down as far as I do.
Yeah, 6 times a year. And
that's not changing anytime soon if things go according to plan for the Ravens. That's the other thing.
Yeah, you're right. But Mark Andrews is going to get the most valuable targets on the team compared to other receivers, I would say. But you're right. I would go Hawkinson, Pitts, Andrews at this point. But I think Pitts is a better athlete and more talented than TJ Hawkinson probably. So we were just saying we draft talent, right? So maybe I should put Pitts ahead of Hawkinson.
Maybe you should. I don't know. Yeah, Pitts is crazy talented. I just remember turning on college football, turning on Florida games this year and just being in awe at the athlete that he was on that college football field. And now we'll be going up against NFL talent, but maybe instead of 4 touchdowns in a game, he'll get 1 or 2 and he'll still be incredible. But he's a scary man. Josh, just so you know, I'm getting texts from my mom. She's got us up on the big screen TV. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
And hey, Mom.
She said, Josh is the most eligible bachelor. He should romance. I'm going to leave the name blank, but she's trying to set you up with a family friend. She thinks you are an eligible bachelor.
Let's set it up, Mom. I'm in. Let's make it happen.
FYF dating show.
Yeah, tune in next week to see if
Oh my
Anonymous
God.
Girl gives Josh the rose.
How fun would that be if we like set you guys up on a blind date on stream?
That would be awesome. Josh, do it for the stream. Josh, do it for the stream.
Okay, I'll do it for the stream. For the stream, let's go, boys.
For the stream. You're getting a tattoo and then
all
blind date.
all live.
Brady says furthest I've seen Pitts fall. And then Jay says Z2 has some sick wide receivers.
It does.
AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson.
Holy crap. Yeah, you do have some sick receivers.
And then Jay said new show idea, FYF Fantasy Bachelor.
It's not horrible. I
FYFFB.
Front Yard Fantasy Bachelor. I like it.
For some reason, I think it's going to change our target audience a little bit.
maybe not.
Yeah.
There's some overlap. Who doesn't need love?
Exactly. And then, maybe it brings in more of the family, brings in everyone. Yeah. So we finish up the 5th round here. We'll sum it up. Chase Claypool started off the 5th round, followed by Kenny Golladay, Kareem Hunt, TJ Hawkinson by Simon, Myles Gaskin, Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts, Devonta Smith, Lamar Jackson, the 4th quarterback off the board, Deontay Johnson, Cortland Sutton, and Chris Carson by Eagle Dan. And look at this, Eagle Dan. I feel like you're just kind of like, do it. You're playing this draft well. It feels like it's probably what you wanted to do here. Mm-hmm. You started off quarterback, tight end. You came back. You got those wide receivers you needed. And then you're coming back here with getting some really high upside running backs. Really high upside, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Carson and Edmonds, as of right now, are both starting for their teams. And that's in the 5th and 6th round as my running back 1 and 2. That's all I can hope for at this point. So I'm really excited to get both of them. So the team is pretty much coming together exactly how I wanted.
I'm looking at your team compared to most, and it's the most balanced team probably so far. I don't know if it's the best. Let's see how everything goes, right? Mm-hmm. So JL, I like your team a lot. You got 4 receivers. We've talked about this before in Dynasty. Maybe receiver is maybe the better position to invest in just because it lasts a little bit longer. If I'm putting that kind of weird, let me know. But you got Tyreek Hill, Michael Thomas, Cortland Sutton, Brandon Ayuk, good, pretty young wide receivers mixed in with Ezekiel and Javonte Williams as your running backs. I like that. Are you happy with your team so far? You're muted.
We can't hear you.
Dang it. Yeah. The way I really like to draft in Dynasty too is thinking about which of these players, where's their value gonna shoot up, right? Like if I can get Cortland Sutton in the back of the 5th round, do I believe that he's going to be maybe going in like the 4th or 3rd round in the next couple years? And so when you look at my team, I feel like that's a common theme, right? Zeke, Michael Thomas, Cortland Sutton, maybe Ayuk. I'm not quite sure if he fits into that mold, or maybe like Ayuk and Javonte. Into that mold. Yeah, I think he could shoot up. Like both him and Javonte Williams have the upside with a little bit more risk. But the rest of and this is separate from Tyreek Hill because I think Tyreek Hill is just sort of where he is and he's going to be there for a while. But yeah, the rest of them, I'm trying to see like, okay, can I get these guys who are going to be way more valuable next year? And then, if that's the case, all of a sudden I can trade them to get a more balanced team, at the time.
I like that.
It's a good strategy.
NBA wants to know which wide receiver do you guys want the Ravens to draft? Josh, I'm going to come to you next, but I'm going to go to your brother.
Jordan made a great point. Right there. That's what I would say.
None of them. I don't want anyone going to the wide receiver graveyard that is Baltimore.
Yeah, I agree with Dan. I hope
maybe it won't be a graveyard if they go there.
I don't be a great. I mean, what they're gonna just start passing the ball more because they have a better weapon. Maybe I said that out loud.
You said it, and then it sounded reasonable.
And the logic follows.
Why would we do that when we have better players? That's ridiculous.
No, I understand what you're saying, Simon. The Ravens want to run the ball. They're going to run the ball regardless of who they have at wide receiver, but it's going to make it easier to pass the ball if they get a great weapon. So. I understand what you're saying. It is probably a fantasy graveyard for a wide receiver to come here. So I understand you don't want anyone to go to the Ravens, but as a Ravens fan, I think exactly what Jay Fuse 2 said. I want the Ravens to get a big body presence, someone that can go up and get the ball because that's not someone Mark Andrews is kind of that guy, but we need an outside presence that can go up and get the ball. And that's just something the Ravens do not have at the moment at all.
They need more variety in their passing or in their receiving core. It's variety. Virility is what they need in their
vitality.
But yeah, I don't think that Lamar can't throw at all. I just think like there's
pretty well. He's got an arm,
right? There's just key parts that are missing that are making it like really not consistent or reliable to I'm gonna say rely again, and it's gonna sound stupid, but to rely on the passing game. But I don't think that it's like naturally a graveyard.
Sammy Watkins is bigger. I mean, but
he's 6'1", 205. He's not huge. You know what I mean? Like
he's not a go up and get it guy necessarily. Like he's good. He's a great blocker, and I think that's why the Ravens really signed him.
Go up and get it in week 1 and then get hurt.
He does introduce some variety though,
and some virility. You know, I would not be shocked to see a mini Sammy resurgence here in Baltimore. Like I still think he's talented. And who's he competing with from a wide receiver perspective on that team?
You said that, and my mind just instantly went to like a bunch of little like cup-sized Sammy Watkins running around all Baltimore. Mini Sammy resurgence.
Terrence Marshall would be good there if they're going to draft a rookie receiver.
Yeah, no, he fits that mold that I'm talking about, you know, and he's fast. And so I know the Ravens are looking for speed at all times. They want to spread the field as much as they can, having Lamar Jackson. So I think Terrace Marshall is a great fit. I don't want to take him anywhere near the first round though.
No, not first round.
Yeah. Second round pick, maybe late second round. Yeah. I think that would get me excited. Simon Deebo Samuel. I like it.
I think it might have been a bit early, but I was just scrolling through all the receivers there, and he's the one I like the best. Like I might have been able to get him in the next round, but based on what JL said, you know, talking about guys whose value could like be significantly higher in a startup next year. People are all hyped on Brandon Ayuk because of the end of the year that he had, but Deebo Samuel is an uber talented wide receiver. That by this time next year could be a third or fourth round guy if he shows up, if he connects with whoever's throwing the ball to him over there.
He was like a fourth round guy going into the previous season, I would say.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That Juju value.
He could jump back up there.
Juju in the 7th is ridiculous.
That whoever's
I was hoping he made it to me.
Arsenal.
No offense. Yeah, no, I was about to say no offense, Simon, but I would rather have Juju here.
Oh yeah, I was hoping I could grab Woods and then Juju on the way.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
I love Woods so much.
People are sleeping on Juju.
Good season.
I took Ayuk and I was trying to decide between Ayuk and Juju because Juju's just been falling so hard in a lot of these drafts. I think he'll be a great value for most people doing startup drafts.
Now, let me sum up the 6th round real fast. It started off with Chase Edmonds by Eagle Dan, followed by Brandon Ayuk, Melvin Gordon, DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, Justin Herbert, Julio Jones.
Why are you the way that you are?
Jalen Waddle, Robert Woods, Dak Prescott, Jerry Jeudy, and Noah Fant. You're still getting some talented people here. And we're into the middle of the 7th round. Like we already said, Juju went off first. Kenneth Gainwell, man. That's the next rookie running back we're seeing come off the board, and if he has the right landing spot, he could move up boards. He's the best. He might be the best pass catching back in this class, just like as a role. You know, do you agree, Dan?
100%. Yeah, studying some film on him, I absolutely love him. I was actually thinking about taking him where I took Chase Edmonds. So to have him go down that far, I think like after him is for me like tier wise, it's last like running back I feel comfortable. Expecting to have some production in year one for fantasy.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best receiving backs. I think people are sleeping on ETN's receiving ability a little bit just because he wasn't utilized that much in the Clemson offense. But whenever he was given the opportunity, he was a great receiving back. He reminds me ETN. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Reminds me of, don't hear what I'm not saying. I am not saying he is Alvin Kamara. But a similar talent set, maybe just scaled down quite a bit.
He might be just as explosive. If
that's what I'm saying. I think he'll fill a similar role as Alvin Kamara on an offense. I think he can be that like heavy receiving back.
Yeah, if Etienne lands with the Saints with Sean Payton, if he ended up without Alvin Kamara, I'm just like hypothetically, you know, I'm really freaking excited for Etienne. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're making a good point there.
So Sean said he has to drop a bunch of players, so he's going to post it in our Discord if we could give him a little help. We'll hop in there. And then Dan, Mike's got some critique for you.
You're up. Paying attention.
You should not have passed on Mixon whenever you didn't draft your running back in the first 3 rounds.
Well,
give us a little bit of insight into your thought process.
I have a really good reason. I hate Joe Mixon.
That's a pretty good reason, Dan.
So I'm not going to
damn it, Dan.
So I want you to focus on your 2 draft picks that you're on the board right now, but I want you to elaborate a little bit more after your draft picks. All right.
Sure.
While you're making your draft picks, I'm going to sum up the round that just happened, if that's okay, guys. So we started off the round with JL grunts. We started off the round with
loves it when JL grunts.
Because he's right next to JL as well, so he just
I knew it. I was sitting there and one more pick. I'm like, Z2 is going to steal my pick here. I just have a feeling like he does this every draft. I feel like he picks the spot next to me and then he just takes who I'm going to take.
I think he's doing it on purpose.
It's like just enough to get excited where like he somehow lasted through the whole round up until the very last pick. And even though I'm like, okay, he's probably going to get taken and stolen from me, I'm still like disappointed.
So the 7th round started with Juju Smith-Schuster, followed by Kenneth Gainwell, Mike Gesicki, Deebo Samuel by Simon, Rashad Bateman, and our rookie there, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Boyd, Michael Pittman. It sounds weird not saying junior after that. Tyler Lockett, Ronald Jones, Adam Thielen, and Michael Carter. Let's go. Let's go. We're 2 picks into the 8th round now. And Dan, I told you I was going to come back to you. I want you to address Mixon a little bit more here.
Okay. So
why do you hate him? That's what I'm asking.
Hate is a strong word. I just, he's a good back. He just with the line being as bad as it is, and he just to me, he just isn't. It's just one of those guys where I don't want him on my team.
I just don't want him.
He could be a good back, but I don't want to risk having him. And I actually had him for a couple of years. So, the fact that it's not like I'm a hater on him. I just don't want him on my team anymore.
I think
I'm looking at the guys you drafted, Calvin Ridley and Alvin Robinson. Like, it's like when we're talking about just straight value, those guys are at least as high as Joe Mixon. So in that regard, I don't think you made a bad decision,
No.
Now, your team format maybe needs a running back, but you got some good running back, like 4 straight running backs there.
And just my overall draft philosophy in these types of things, there's so much, like I said before, when I was drafting the Mahomes and Kelsey picks, there's so much of turnaround and running backs with the injuries and things. And they're so dependent on so many other factors where me personally, myself, I fade them in general. So I'd rather, get the number 1 receivers that are going to be like the 1,000-yard guys than have to depend on a guy I don't particularly like or think is going to do as well as those guys.
I think the thing with Mixon, I still believe in Mixon. I'm still drafting Mixon, but it's solely based on talent. And the argument I've heard against him and that I totally get, I have no counter to it is, why hasn't he done it for a full season yet? There you go. We've seen 4 years from Mixon and he hasn't really put together a complete. I feel like it's always been like tales of 2 halves with him. Like he goes through stretches where he's not being used right.
That is true. Even in that one season,
he didn't put together a complete season. It was disappearing at Joe Mixon followed by superstar Joe Mixon.
Right.
Yeah, it was. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Just 2 up and down for me. That's really what it is. You nailed it. You hit the nail on the head there. If I can't depend on you for all the games, I'm not gonna draft you
for all of the games.
We're not gonna blame you for that, Dan. I think people, they look. I think there's probably upside kind of people out there and just consistency people.
Yeah.
So what's your flavor, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
In Dynasty, upside can really hurt you if you're risky.
Upside doesn't get you points.
Yeah, exactly. You got to balance it. I think
upside is worth 0 fantasy points. I know people love upside, and especially that they love rookies and everything. But that has to turn into production, right? It has to turn into production, otherwise it's worthless.
Yeah. Jordan, I love arguments like these, like anecdotal. You're right, but it doesn't mean anything for Mixon.
Right? Yeah,
it can happen, but
they're both gay. Listen, if you want to make an argument for it, they're both guys that were uber talented coming out of college, and they were like, we kept waiting, and now we're giving up, and like, oh, look at it, it's happening now. So maybe if you want to just make that argument, I see it, but yeah, it's a little anecdotal.
Jay wants to know why you look sad today.
I'm sad because I drafted Adam Thielen and I didn't really want to, but I tilted.
So Jay, let's get into this. So you just drafted Adam Thielen. That was your fourth.
I didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah.
And Dallas Goddard. We're getting into it now, man. How do you feel about those picks? Not great, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
Wow.
Not great, Bob.
Not great, Bob.
Not great. I like Dallas Goddard in a dynasty league.
We talk about like exactly what I said earlier about I like guys whose value I think is going to be much higher, and I don't think Thielen's one of those guys. I think his value can really only depreciate from here on out. And so I don't love that pick. Like I said, I was down to like a second, so I had to pick someone. But yeah, I would have, if I could go back, would have probably picked someone different.
Come on.
Honestly, I'm just like looking at like who got drafted, and like maybe Odell Beckham could fall into that category you're talking about. I could see next year where his values just like he has a couple good games, and we love trading around here, and you're able to just flip Odell Beckham. If you wanted to do so, or ride it out, he's a great, he's got a lot of talent,
That's what I think. Him in the 8th is ludicrous. Like at the end of the 8th round.
I do feel like the farther and farther you get, or I guess further you get away from like those like production years, though, the less confident I am that they're going to bounce back. Like the other guys on my team, like Zeke, Michael Thomas, like we're like a year or two removed out from like real production. For Zeke, 1 year, right? Michael Thomas, I guess 2.
But look at the guys being drafted near OBJ between Curtis Samuel and Rondale.
Oh, for sure. There's value there. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, just to put it back into that equation that Josh brought up, like I think OBJ definitely falls in that category, but like my confidence that he's gonna shoot up is like a little bit lower than some of those other guys.
Adam Thielen last year, I mean, he was a great part of anyone's fantasy team. So if you're competing this year, JL, he's going to be an integral part of your fantasy team, I think, at least this year.
What I would do, now that this was a real draft and, I tilted, I made that pick. What I would do now, or we're looking to do in like a couple months after we get into the season, is go and see if I can find a contending team that needs a wide receiver and see if I can offload Adam Thielen for, depending on how my season's going, of course. But considering I have considerable wide receiver depth already, I think that would be my strategy going forward.
I think that's a smart move. So we finished out the 8th round, and I'll just sum it up for us real fast here. It started off with Nyheim Hines, Dallas Goddard, Deshaun Watson, Zach Moss, Trevor Lawrence, Rondale Moore, Joe Burrow, Cole Kmet, Odell Beckham by Simon, Curtis Samuel, Russell Wilson, and Robbie Anderson. So you're happy about your Odell Beckham pick, Simon?
Yeah, if we're being honest, I was hoping T-Law made it to me there. I was going to draft my quarterback of the future, Trevor Lawrence. But,
and then you had to settle for Rodgers.
I'd settle for like the reigning MVP Aaron Rodgers. So I'll take Aaron Rodgers.
Oh no!
Welcome in.
That's horrible.
No, so it worked out. I was wanting either Trevor Lawrence or Odell Beckham with that pick. Not that I think Odell Beckham's going to return to like his top 5 wide receiver form, but to get a wide receiver that talented in the 8th round is bananas.
Real fast, I want to ask you something. Would you prefer Odell Beckham from a fantasy perspective, not on the Browns?
Yeah. Yep. Take him off the Browns. 100%.
Like any other team, pretty much.
Pretty much any other team. Maybe not.
I'll put him on the Ravens over the Browns personally. I think the Browns offense operates better when it's not trying to funnel through Odell Beckham Jr. And when he's on the field, they try to funnel the ball through him. And they do. Baker doesn't operate very well having to force the ball to a specific target. He's a smart quarterback. When you watch him play, he's great at going through his reads. Like he truly is. He's a really smart football player. And a lot of his interceptions that he throws are conscious decisions where he says like, I can make it. Know what I mean? It's not a lapse. He doesn't miss the defender. He overestimates his ability.
but whenever Odell Beckham's on the field, I think there's something in his mind, or maybe the coaching staff tells him he has to get the ball to OBJ, and it screws with him.
I think it's a mental thing.
Don't hear what I'm not
it's a mental
saying.
thing.
Like,
I really do.
I'm not saying the Browns are like that. Adding Odell Beckham makes him a worse team. Odell Beckham Jr. It's just Baker's got some mental hurdles to get over with Odell Beckham on the field.
I think it's a mental thing. I 100%. I've talked about this before. It happens with just people in general. I think, like for me, for instance, like I love my video games, but like if I'm in a video game and I feel like someone's not liking what I'm doing, and they're like, you should be doing this and not this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm supposed to be working as a team with them. I don't play as well. You know, like I got to do what I think is right, not what like someone else thinks is right. And I feel like Odell Beckham kind of comes in there and kind of like. He's like, yeah, come on, gotta give me the ball, bro. Come on, you know. So there's probably a lot of that going on, and which I don't like to see. Really, I don't like to see pressure. A quarterback shouldn't be pressured to throw to a wide receiver. He should just throw it to him when it's right. You know,
when it's right.
I don't know.
When it's right, you gotta feel
natural.
It should be organic. That's what I'm saying.
Feel good. Jill, my mom wants to know if you got new equipment because she loves the angle.
The new angle? I don't have it. Well, the angle. No, I didn't.
Well, something about you is radiating today.
You're just looking good today, man.
It's me. I got that pregnancy glow.
Yeah, you're glowing. I was about to say you're glowing.
That's the lights. I have lights here.
That's great.
Yeah, and my forehead is radiating my ring light right now. I don't know why it's so shiny.
That happens to me too. I hate that.
I need like some
damn olive skin,
baby powder or something. I know. It sucks to have such great skin, doesn't it, Joe?
It does.
So I'm going to sum up the ninth round.
Honestly,
real fast.
The worst part about me, my biggest flaw is how great my skin is.
Yeah,
you do have amazing skin, both you guys.
It's a burden. It's a burden.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So Will Fuller went the first pick of the ninth round, followed by Denzel Mims, Corey Davis, Aaron Rodgers, Ron St. Brown. How do you pronounce it? Amon. Hey, Dan, help me out.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You got it.
Amon Ra St. Brown. Amon Ra.
It's actually Amon Ra.
Leonard Fournette, drafted by Jordan. That's my brother, by the way. Good pick, Jordan. I think that's a good place for Leonard Fournette to go. AJ Dillon, Irv Smith, Philip Lindsay, Damian Harris, which I also think is a pretty solid pick. Jalen Reagor, who y'all know I love, and Jarvis Landry, completed by Eagle Dan. You like getting Jalen Reagor there, Jail?
Oh, yeah. He is who I would have taken instead of Thielen. So I was pretty happy that he fell 2 rounds lower. Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Talking about upside, right?
Talking about upside, right. I think his value really can only go up.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
And then, Dan, you finished up your wide receivers a little bit. You know, you only had 2 before this round. And you got Jarvis Landry and Michael Gallup, 2 just elite talents.
100%.
I don't know about elite.
They had 2 great talents in the NFL.
10th round talents.
Nah, these are
not elite talents. I'm sorry I said elite. I shouldn't have used the word elite.
It's Joe Flacco elite.
Yeah, Joe Flacco elite.
Joe Flacco elite talents. No,
10th
I love
round elite.
JFE.
No, I'm just saying, Jarvis Landry, he was a 4th round pick not that long ago. He's a PPR machine. If the Browns do decide to get rid of Odell Beckham, God, Jarvis Landry is the biggest steal of this draft. Okay?
Hey, Josh, I got some breaking news. She's outed herself. This is who my mom wants to set you up on a date.
Oh, it's not Anna.
There you go. So
okay,
Josh,
we gotta make this happen now.
Anna, meet Josh.
Anna, you got a beautiful picture. I can't really see it. Let's hang out.
I love the cowboy hat emoji.
Yeah, that's really what did it for me.
How'd you 2 meet? Well, I was streaming a mock draft fantasy.
Oh,
it all started
on Twitch.
It all started on Twitch. I was in those comments.
That's fantastic. Anna, great to meet you. I'm sure our relationship will grow even further from here.
Yeah, thanks for popping in, Anna.
Yeah. Go up.
I grabbed with my pick right there. I was between the player that went right after me and the player I drafted, Raheem Mostert and Brandon Cooks.
Raheem Mostert, that's good value, I think.
That's what I was.
I feel like I'm staying away from him in pretty much any dynasty league, but I don't know. 10th round, that's not bad.
10th round, he could be a starting running back. Like, I'll take that. Rick says amazing stuff. I think he's talking about we are now the love connection on.
That's it.
And Jay came in with Dan is very good at pronouncing players' names, difficult players' names. I figured Dan could come in and help me there.
It's my secret talent, really.
We could set you up on a one-on-one date, and it would be the front yard fantasy suite. If you've ever watched The Bachelor, whenever they get to the end, they get to go to the fantasy suite dates.
They do the front yard fantasy suite.
The front yard fantasy
branding.
suite.
Isn't the fantasy suite where they like get intimate and stuff though?
Yeah, but this is on stream. This is in the front yard
on the show on TV.
Yeah.
Wow, that's embarrassing.
Also, I think I've said it on stream before, but I'm gonna say it again. I don't know how many of you guys watched this last. Oh no, it's my pick.
I said that.
Yeah,
COVID here.
I panicked, but I'm not unhappy.
Somewhere good.
Yeah. On this past season of The Bachelor, during like the final dates that they were doing, one of the girls, there's been all sorts of controversy around. I'm going to ignore that for the time being, though, because it's not part of the story I want to tell. She decided to take them skydiving. Did I already tell you guys about this? So
No.
The Bachelor and Rachel went skydiving, and Matt gets down first, and he's sitting on the ground, and they like pan the camera up, and he's like cheering, like, Rachel, like here she comes coming in, and she gets down, and she hits the ground freaking hard, like not like kind of hard, like slams into the ground, like where you're watching it and your mouth just dropped, like for like watching that, you're like, she's dead, like that's how hard she hit the ground. And then they just like they kind of brushed over it. They kind of just did the rest of the episode and like mentioned it here or there.
Rub some dirt on it. You're fine.
They're cutting like pictures of her like talking to the camera, and you can tell her face is like visibly swollen, and they tried to cover it with makeup. Like she was really hurt. I'm gonna have to send you guys that video because it's hard to watch.
I do want to see it actually.
Jay said everyone's super enthused with the Bachelor story. They were until it involved a crash, a skydiving.
I was feeling good about it. Let's sum up the 10th round real fast. Michael Gallup, Kenyon Drake, Tony Pollard, Kadarius Toney. I see. You mentioned Kadarius Toney. They're NBA rigged. We'll get to that in a second. Terrace Marshall, Darnell Mooney, Marquise Brown, Justin Fields, Raheem Mostert, Brandon Cooks, Jonnu Smith, and Keyshawn Vaughn. Does Toney have a Tyreek-like juke? Who is he compared to? Listen, I'll take this one real fast. Toney.
Wait, hold up. Before you say anything.
Hold up.
Jets trading quarterback Sam Darnold to the Carolina Panthers for a 2021 6th round pick and 2nd and 4th round picks in 2022.
Is it April 1st?
No, it is not.
No, it's not.
It's a 2021 6th, then a 2022 2nd and 4th for Sam Darnold to the Carolina Panthers. I love it.
Wow, that is
about as good as it could get for Sam Darnold. Like if you were looking for Sam Darnold to get a shot somewhere, I don't think it gets much better than throwing him on that.
They're not giving up.
Who's about to draft Sam Darnold in like the next round?
So what do they do for DJ Moore now?
Yeah, that's
right. That's whatever.
Oh yeah, How does it affect DJ Moore?
I think it's good for DJ Moore.
I guess he's not like it's not guaranteed that he's the starter. Like I don't think we should just assume he's going to beat out Teddy. We haven't seen that.
Teddy's still there.
Sam Darnold, but I think Sam Darnold will likely beat out Teddy.
Yeah, you don't give that much draft capital unless you're going to start.
No, yeah. They drafted a quarterback early in the first round, essentially. They
didn't trade a first round pick.
They didn't give up a first.
No,
you said a first.
No, for Darnold.
No, a 2021 6th, and then
I thought it was a 2022,
and then a 2022 2nd and 4th.
Oh, that's a good trade. Okay, I was like, man, they gave up a lot for him. I thought you were okay.
I'm sitting here looking for freaking Ryan Tannehill, and Toby took him.
Toby.
And then I killed Simon.
Matthew Stafford's a good pick there. I like we said this earlier, like, maybe consistency is more important than upside, and Ryan Tannehill is a pretty consistent quarterback, but Stafford's upside is through the roof.
Damn it, now I got to restart my DJ Moore article. Isn't that the worst news?
It's actually pretty funny.
It eliminates all the work you've done.
Mike T came in and said, great trade for the Panthers. I agree. I agree.
I don't know that it's like amazing for DJ Moore.
I'm not sure either. honestly.
I think it's like sort of a lateral move
with
the potential upside, right? Like
okay, that's what
upside
I was
that Darnold
say.
is good, but I don't think that we know that it's going to be great for him.
We know what Teddy is, and it's not great for his wide receivers. It's fine, but it's not fantastic. Sam Darnold, all we've seen is him in the Adam Gase butthole system.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe once he
definitely better system
the
now.
Shadow of the Adam Gainus, he can start. That was Ganus.
Yeah, I was going to say, you better clarify.
Yeah, it was Adam Gase. It was Adam Gase, but with the word anus put into his last name. I just want that to be very
butthole.
clear. Yeah, because he's a butthole. Just so everyone knows, we're talking about buttholes here. Sam Darnold could be great on the Panthers. Could be. That's a big could be though. I'm not going to be drafting him as such, but it's definitely better outlook for him than on the Jets. I mean, can you think of a better realistic scenario for him going into next year?
For Sam Darnold?
For Sam Darnold. What would have been a better realistic landing spot for him going into
City.
the next season as the backup?
Come on, you idiot. Like, obviously, they could have made that trade work for Patrick Mahomes, Sam Darnold.
Sure.
Like, yeah, that would have been better.
One for one.
Like, yeah, I guess realistically, you could see like the Steelers doing something crazy, but that's not even realistic, is it? Like, I'm just like thinking of like aging quarterbacks on their team.
And would that be better?
No,
I think it would be.
Everyone wanted Watson to the Panthers because I think it was the best spot of a team that was looking for a quarterback. And now that's not happening, we've got Darnold going there. Yeah, Darnold's going into what could be the best situation of a team looking for a quarterback that's not addressing it through the draft.
Right.
Wide receiver core is better in Pittsburgh, but running back, obviously, the situation. And I feel like Panthers are better overall.
Yeah. No, you're right. I would, if I can't think of a better situation for Sam Darnold than the Panthers. I like the coaching too.
This is very good for Darnold.
NBA draft capital next year too, so it's good for them too. To build around field. I mean,
get a QB. Get a QB in this draft, and then continue to build around him. Yeah.
NBA says Zach Wilson. He's starting to be for Jets day one. I just drafted him here, great value. So it's Zach Wilson or Justin Fields or Trey Lance as like a third, maybe.
If it's Mac Jones, I will literally go down to New York and smack all those, all the people making those decisions.
It can't be Mac Jones because Mac Jones has to go to San Francisco. So going for two, Jeff loses his mind. He's not a fan. I need to see that. It needs to happen.
Yeah, I don't think the Jets wanted Sam Darnold 2.0 with Mac Jones.
No. Yeah. Also, real quick, Jay's question, what was the guy's name I said when Jake Sealer was on? It was Josh Imatorbhebhe, Illinois wide receiver.
Oh, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful baby.
What's your strategy, Dan, for learning how to pronounce these names? Is there like a site, or are you're very cultured, traveled man?
That's it. It's culture traveled man.
Oh.
Yeah. Look at him. He's a bird person.
Yeah.
I would love to see. I would love to see one where you're like, oh yeah, it's Imatorbhebhe, and then they're like, no, it's just Phil.
It's not at all.
It's just Phil.
It's actually a Smith. Smith is his name.
Yeah.
So let's sum up the 11th round real fast. It started off with Jalen Hurts, Chuba Hubbard, Todd Gurley, James Conner. Man, these running backs. Antonio Brown, Robert Tonyan, Elijah Mitchell, Tylan Wallace, Zach Wilson, Ryan Tannehill, Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield. And we are into the final round, the 12th round. What a draft so far. So we both two guys here, they took their quarterbacks in the second to last round. They took Matthew Stafford and Baker Mayfield. Do you feel good about waiting this long to get your quarterback? Dan, what do you think?
Well, he's actually my backup because Patrick Mahomes is my
Oh, I didn't even see that. You're taking a backup. So you're expecting him to have a really good season, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Baker's just there in case, something happens to Patrick, but I'm not going to use Baker at all for bye week.
Gotcha. What about you, JL?
Yeah, I feel great. I mean, this is generally my strategy in one QB leagues. I like to wait till the 11th, 12th, 13th round. Did I say it wrong?
No.
I was laughing at the final pick, of the whole draft. Aaron Hernandez.
Why is he still in there?
Right.
So, yeah,
I love Stafford. Honestly, Stafford in that Rams offense is great value in the the 11th round for a QB1.
If I cannot worry about quarterback my entire draft and end up with Stafford at the end of it, I am
It's a home run.
Yes.
Honestly, it's a home run.
Thank you.
Yeah,
This is beautiful.
Part of this is you gotta see how everyone else is drafting. Like if everyone started taking their QB2s or whatever in those 8 to 10 round time range or whatever, then I would maybe consider going a little bit earlier. But in one QB leagues, it's just so easy to find good value later on, and the value above replacement is just it's so low.
Yeah.
Jay says that's
maybe
why
that's why one
sucks.
sucks.
This was an ongoing debate that we had.
Jay. Listen, Jay, you drafted LaVisca in the 6th round. All right, so you should go away now. Freaking homer.
Something else
right next to DJ Chark.
Something else I wanted to bring up was the tight end still available after 12 rounds in a Dynasty.
Probably some really good ones.
We've got Hunter Henry, Evan Ingram, Logan Thomas, Hayden Hurst, Austin Hooper, Adam Troutman, Eric Ebron, Tyler Higbee, like Jarwin, like Harrison Bryant. There's some names on there that are like exciting. Not just this is a good late round tight end. There's some actually exciting tight end names still sitting there.
Evan Ingram, man, that guy did not retain his value over the last couple of years. You guys think that he'll bounce back a little bit at some point in his career? Or is this
and then he'll
get
injured again, and then
it's over for him. He didn't retain his value. He didn't retain his hands either.
so NBA Rig was wondering,
to watch.
Is Zach Wilson? He looks like the quarterback now for the Jets. Is a great value for him right there. What do you think in a dynasty league?
I would take all 3 quarterbacks that went after him over him,
just because they've proven it in the NFL.
And
they're not on the Jets.
It's still the Jets.
And we don't know where they will go.
Yeah, so
we don't know it's Zach Wilson yet.
Yeah, I would definitely take Stafford and Mayfield over Wilson.
Yeah.
Does Zach Wilson have more upside than all these guys? He might, but we were just talking about that earlier. And upside doesn't really score your fantasy points.
Tua has a ton of upside. Jalen Hurts has a ton of upside.
I was talking just about those 4 quarterbacks right there. Tua probably has just as much upside as Zach Wilson still, I would say.
Yeah. I honestly I think all 3 of those 3 of those guys before Wilson, that's who you're talking about, Josh?
No, I was talking right next to Ryan Tannehill, Stafford, and Baker Mayfield.
Those 3 guys, I think they all have just as high of an upside. Their situations are much better.
Yeah,
than going in. Even if Zach Wilson goes to the Jets, one aspect of it is we know their talents, right? Like Stafford and Tannehill at least have been very consistent, and Mayfield definitely has done it enough to know that he has the talent and can be consistent.
Yes,
and their situations are better, and so 100% would take the known quantity there.
I'm just so excited to see Stafford not with the Lions. I loved him when he was with Megatron back in the day, just tossing it up, having the most yards in the NFL every year. It was so much fun to watch. I'm just excited to see him get out of what I believe to be just a bad organization.
It's a black hole in fantasy is what it was.
I think the system definitely limited what Stafford was able to do. And so I'm with you, Josh. I think he'll jump up in value after this season.
I am excited for Zach Wilson, though. I am. I'm excited to see what he can do. He can make every throw in the world. So we'll see.
I wanted to address something that NBA said here because it's just patently false, and I want to make sure everyone, if people believe this narrative, it's just not true. That he has an injury history. Matthew Stafford is great value. I concur, but he has injury history. Stafford has consistently been one of the most durable quarterbacks in the NFL since he came into the league. He had 1 season where he missed half the season. Let me pull it up, though. So 2020, 16 games. 2019, 8 games. 2018, 16. 2017, 16. 2016, 16. 2015, 16. 2014. He started all 16 games from 2011 to 2019, 2020, except for that 2019 season. I'm not saying he can't get injured, but this is not an injury-prone player. This is an incredibly tough quarterback that had 1 season with a bad injury.
Yeah, I feel like he's had little
but he plays.
Early in his career, he had a bunch of little injuries.
Yeah, he stays on the field. He stays up.
The back has been a problem, he's
every athlete has something.
He's been good. Yeah,
he doesn't miss time is the point I was trying to make. Stafford is about as safe and reliable as you can get from an injury perspective.
He's also going to a better offensive system, so the play will be hold the ball for 7 seconds and hope someone gets open. He's going to get rid of the ball faster, so injuries should be down.
Yeah, he isn't very mobile. That's a good point.
For sure.
Well, he's not. No, he's not mobile.
Yeah, but I think
that's never how he's won.
No,
that it's been with his arm. He has a top 5 arm in the NFL.
Yeah.
It just arm talent.
That's the best, receiving core he's ever going to have. He's ever had, except for the Megatron and then no one else.
Yeah, exactly. And Megatron, that will be the best receiver he's ever played with. But in terms of overall, obviously Megatron's the best receiver. This is the best situation he's had.
Oh, give me Megatron over these three guys any day of the week as a quarterback. If I was a quarterback and you said you can have Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and
I'm sure the defense would prefer that too. Everyone.
Give me
everyone just team up on Megatron.
That's what they did. That's what they did. Like 10 years ago, that's what they were trying to do. And Megatron was amazing. I wish he didn't retire. I wish we could see him again, but it is what it is.
I think I'd have a 1% chance of completing a pass in an NFL game to Megatron. I think I'd have a 0.00 chance of completing a pass to Robert Woods in the NFL. It's just
0%.
Yeah, with Megatron
0.001.
With Megatron, I could hope it up and pray, or throw it up and pray, right? Like
you think you could get it far enough?
Half of those balls, man.
No, absolutely not. That's why I said
it's
1%.
Like a toss up, like 10 yards from the line of scrimmage.
He'll sprint 40 yards back just to make me look good.
Step on the shoulder pads of all the defenders.
40 yards back. If you had run 40 yards with me having the ball in my hands, that was on him anyways, though. There's no chance I'm throwing the ball 40 yards.
You should know better.
Guys, if you enjoyed this mock draft and you want to see more of these, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube at Front Yard Fantasy. Hit that like button as well. I'd always wanted to say that. I've let other people say it. We're YouTubers now, guys. We say
YouTubers.
Josh, say smash the like button.
Smash that like button. I want you to hit like button like that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, like button, like us.
Guys,
hey, and I already said it earlier, but trading makes fantasy fun.
Dan, people can find you on Twitter at EagleDanFF, but where else can they find you and your work? Give them a rundown real quick.
All right, so I'm currently now running for Roto Underworld.
Hey, that was congratulations. I don't think that wasn't news the last time you came on, I think.
No, it wasn't. No, that happened after I came on last. So
yeah,
you're killing it, Dan. You're the man.
I'm still doing the pod with Upside with Jay, unfortunately. I still have to deal with him. We have a show this coming Thursday with LQ, so we're really excited about that.
Ooh, LQ's the man.
And then doing Dynasty, Devi, and IDP rankings for Fantasy Pros now.
Very nice.
Devi and IDP there.
Wait, they're doing IDP rankings at Fantasy Pros?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's news to me. Is that been a thing? I haven't checked them out as much.
I think it's pretty recent. It's not like
cool.
But check those out.
It's a necessary thing that's needed out there. So I want to check out those rankings.
I don't love you, Jay. I'm sorry.
That is not accurate information.
They love each other. And I pulled off a blockbuster with Josh, a trade this weekend. So trade with all the guys except for Simon. I got to trade with Simon now to complete the trifecta.
Careful.
We'll make it happen. Simon will make it happen.
I'm the sexiest one to trade with. All my trades end up pretty sexy.
Better watch out.
Yeah. Better watch out.
Ask JL how sexy my trades are. We've made some really sexy ones. What was the best one? It was we've brought it up on stream before. It was CJ Anderson and Doug Martin
for Alvin Kamara and Julio Jones. in 20. Oh, Alvin Kamara's rookie year before he broke out. He was still part of the. He was.
I'm not going to ask you guys who was what side. I feel like I remember.
I got
who's what side.
I got CJ Anderson and Doug Martin.
I think JL won that slightly.
Yeah, that was the worst trade I've ever made in my life. It
didn't seem that lopsided at the time. I will say that.
No, it didn't. No. Well, you think about it. Back then, like Samaje Perine was ranked ahead of Kamara at some places.
Yeah,
because everyone saw a role for him to be able to start, and Kamara couldn't start because he was with Adrian Peterson, Mark Ingram. It was impossible, right?
And we did the trade right before week 4 or something, which is when Doug Martin was coming off his suspension, and so it was like, oh, Doug Martin, another 1,000-yard season coming up.
Muscle hamster.
Yeah,
that's a player that I didn't want to give up on ever. I was obsessed with Doug Martin
till the end.
Till the very end, I was all in on Doug Martin. That was my first fantasy football love that hurt my team every year. I feel like we all have those players.
I love you, Mike Williams.
It off for me.
Who mine would be? I've got quite a few. Don't worry.
Jason, Simon, let's talk trade. Yeah, hit me up. I can't leave the guest bedroom. I got nothing but time to talk trades.
At FYF Simon.
And how about this? I was really into Darrell Henderson taking over for Todd Gurley his first year. I was really into that.
Exactly. I thought that proves that Upside doesn't score fantasy points.
Rashad Penny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, another thing about Mixon that I
like
like
Rashad Penny.
Going back to Mixon real quick, in the division, it was the 6th, 9th, and 13th ranked run defenses last year. So he faces a bunch of all these divisional games are all tough run defense. I don't want him.
That's a good point. That's a good point. It's a really good point.
So everyone
here's another one. I was so into Sony Michel. Sony Michel. I knew he was going to be a great fan of running back in fantasy, but
I was so mad that I took Rashad Penny over Sony Michel in that in our startup Dynasty league, and it was like the next year it's just like, oh, I made such a mistake, and now they're both bottom of the barrel.
They're the same at this. Sony Michel probably has a little more value, but he's got the knee, man.
I remember when Tavon Austin was 101.
Yeah,
that was the thing that happened.
Yeah.
And look how that turned out.
No, I'm a big WVU fan too, so you can only imagine.
Yeah.
We could talk this forever.
We could.
Good show, boys. Good show,
guys.
boys.
Thank you for letting me back on, Jail. Thanks for not firing me because I had COVID. I appreciate it.
I did fire you, but I rehired you.
You rehired me. It was
probably a good call.
Violation of our contract to fire me due to me being sick. So Jail has to wait until I test negative and then he'll fire me. So you got me for at least 2 more days, guys. On Wednesday, I may test positive or negative, and Jail just rips the cord out. Yeah. But until then, we will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. I believe we are playing Poll Perception tomorrow, guys. I don't know if we've decided who's hosting and who is playing, but we can decide that right after this stream. And tomorrow we've got the one and only Steffi Smalls joining us.
Yeah.
So guys, make sure you don't miss that one. Should be a great time. Until then, adios.
Oh, wait. We got a serious question. Job application.
If Scott's vaccinated, then I mean, like.
Scott Fish's whole
and you would replace me.
Scott Fish's whole resume is just I'm vaccinated. Period. You're hired. You're hired. We'll talk, Scott. We'll talk.
I love you guys. Oh, hey. Hi, Anna. By the way, let's talk. We'll talk later. You know?
If you're still somehow watching,
there's no way she's still in here. If she is, and if you're still in here.
Give her a wink. Give her a wink.
Yep.
we need a banner that's just Josh's number. Text me.
Oh God, it's like in the Eric Andre show. Whenever we put Seth Rogen's real phone number on the screen, we just start doing that to Josh, and he gets a ton of people messaging him.
Oh, I love that. So good.
Question mark.
Give it back, Anna.
Okay, just preemptively, just way in the future. This is 3 years down the line.
Give it back, Anna.
Okay, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Adios. See you then.